Hello guys, welcome to today's newest video of the week. Hello guys, welcome to today's new video. Today we're gonna do a running kind of basics, maybe a little bit more advanced in basics, just things that I like to use, things that I have been using for the past couple of years that I've been running. So I'm just gonna talk about all those things that I like to have with me on runs and things that I just kind of switch out through. Okay, so let's begin with some of the items that I have. There's no really like anything that you really need when you start running, just a good pair of shoes or just a decent pair of shoes, and that's pretty much what can get you through a run. So for myself, I started running back in 2017. I started running a lot more constantly, a lot more miles. I was part of the track team in middle school, and I only ran short distance, so I did like 100 meters, 200 meters, and I had some shoes. I still have the shoes, but I do not recommend the shoes that I got. They had no support on them. But once I started my freshman year, kind of halfway through my freshman year season of track, I was asked to run in a varsity meet, and after that I was like, oh wait, like I really do enjoy running. So started doing a lot more research onto like good running shoes, good running form, and I found a couple things that worked with me. I just realized I forgot one item, so I'm gonna go get that. Okay, so yes, as I was saying, I just starting to look more into running, having the right equipment, just trying to do better for my feet so that hopefully it can help inform my running performance. So I got about like 12 things that I'm just going to share with you that I use like kind of on an everyday run or just on an everyday like workout day that I have. We're going to start with shoes. To show you, I have 3 different shoes. I've started off with Brooks. I was loyal to Brooks, only would wear Brooks for probably the first year and a half at least. I think I've gone through maybe 3 or 4 pairs of Brooks since I started, just because it was like my everyday shoe that I use and I wouldn't switch out. But right now, the latest Brooks shoes that I have, they're very muddy. I don't know when's the last time I used them. I can imagine where I went and what run I did, but I have the Brooks Adrenaline 20s. Oh, I think it's like Brooks GTS Adrenaline 20, but I really like this color. It's like a sparkly green. I also, another thing, so I used to always have like dark color shoes, black shoes, because I was like, nobody needs to see my shoes. But I found out that having shoes that you actually like looking at, like obviously you want good warm shoes that are gonna help your feet, towards your feet, but also like choose something that you like. I wanted green sparkly shoes, and these were like oh my god, they're like one of my favorite shoes because of just the sparkle that it has. Most runs that I do in this is like longer distance, depending on the trail where I'm at or where I'm running is where I'll use my Brooks. But since Brooks, I also tried to expand into Nike. I forgot when exactly I decided to like, oh, let me try out Nike, and so I decided to try them out, and they've been my favorite shoes ever. They don't make them anymore. Nike does not make these shoes anymore, and I'm so sad because I wish they did. I don't know why, because they weren't as expensive as some of the shoes that they have right now. Like a lot of the shoes are way more expensive, but these, for some reason, these were my favorite shoes, and I've worn them, and I shouldn't be wearing them anymore, and I don't wear them anymore because I got a newer pair, but these were my favorite. And I still want to wear it sometimes because I'm like, I don't know why I enjoyed running in these shoes. But they're the Nike Pegasus Turbo 2, and they're very worn out. They're like splitting at the ends and a little broken, and they were white ones, but now they're like gray. Again, with these shoes, I would kind of wear them all long runs, switched them in between the Brooks depending on long runs, faster runs. I love these with those because they're very light. And more recently, I got a new pair of Nike shoes. I don't know about them. I haven't done much road running on them. Mostly it's on treadmill just because the weather outside is a little snowy. So I prefer not to run outside because I really can't run in the snow and it's really cold and I don't want to run out there. So I've been doing some tread running. But I have the Nike Zoom Fly 4. So these are the shoes I've been using right now. I decided to try them out, and yes, so I got the Zoom 5.4 is what I've been using so far, and I like it that it has a lot of back cushion on like the back of the heel, and I get blisters frequently, and I feel like these shoes have helped a little with the cushioning on the heel part of my shoe. Another thing to kind of go along with the shoes is your socks. I've noticed that if you use like athletic type socks, I can't remember what they're made of. I know some of them are like made of wool or more athletic socks that prove for sweat wick. I think it doesn't create blisters. I used to get a lot of blisters, especially like in between like where my toes and like the bottom of my feet. Like at one point my feet were peeling. They were so bad. I have the socks features, I think, and I really like running in these because it avoids me getting blisters, and then they have like that little heel bit, so again, like you don't get blisters on the back of your heel. And then another sock that I use, or another brand, is the Balega. It's Balega. way. And these socks have gone through a lot, but these I liked because again, they had like that higher ankle length sock. So again, it would help against blisters, which were really important because or else you have a blister and sometimes it can ruin your run. So obviously if you're running in the winter, you need a hat or anything that to protect your ears because you don't want your ears to fall off. So I have like a head warmer and a hat. Sometimes I just switch upon, but you also need gloves because your gloves are like your hands are gonna freeze for sure. I recommend getting a pair of gloves. I switch them off between these Nike gloves and another pair that are a little thinner, but these have like, I don't know, they're a little thicker. So I use those. And then a new item that I got, and I haven't really worn them yet, and I know it's more like you could wear them like competition days, but I kind of want to wear them just on like my longer runs once it starts getting kind of cooler outside, are arm sleeves. And I haven't really worn them. I think I've worn them maybe once or twice over a long sweatshirt, so maybe once it starts getting warmer I'm gonna test them out because I feel like makes you look cool. One thing that I haven't said is that I do bike. I've only started biking, I think it was like this past summer and spring, but I got some glasses because sometimes, especially like in spring and winter, it's like windy, it's cold, and air is just going through your eyes, and sometimes you can't really see. Even if it's like sunny outside. I don't have those glasses for when it's sunny, but these do get like a little darker, like they tint a little darker. So I have some glasses for eyewear protection. Again, nothing that you really need, but it does help me, especially when it's windy. I think that's like all of my like kind of clothing wear that I have to share with you guys. Obviously, it's depending on like what you like to wear. If you like to wear shorts, leggings, joggers, spandex. I like to wear spandex, but biker spandex. And then again, your top. I just wear cotton t-shirts, which is not the best every time, especially if it's too hot. Then I'll just wear a sports bra, long sleeve. I kind of wear like those Airwick long sleeves, or like right now I'm wearing like this Gymshark, I don't know, crop top thing. Sometimes I'll just wear that. So just depending. Another thing that I've noticed that helps me on runs since I've stopped running with other people, I like to listen to music because it gets very long sometimes and very lonely. So I have my AirPods for that, and I just listen to music. I think I listened to a podcast on my runs, maybe two, but for some reason like podcasts just did not, like it wasn't working, so I prefer music. And then for my recovery after my runs, I do have a muscle relaxer recovery tool. I don't know the exact name, but it's called the R8 Roll Recovery, and I use this to like just stretch my muscles because sometimes they can be very tight. Like I think it was a couple days ago, I think it was like a Thursday, I was in the weight room, you know, running, and like I woke up in that morning, I was like, oh my god, like my hip and like the back part of my butt area really did hurt. Like they felt super tight, and then I didn't have this at school, so I was like, oh my god, like I really needed it. So yes, this does help. Okay, so now talking to how I record my runs. I like to have a watch with me, so I just have my Apple Watch. It's the Apple Watch Series 4, and I just use Strava on here. So on my watch, let me show you guys. So on my watch is how it looks, and I have Strava on there. So I just kind of go on depending what I'm doing. So I go outdoor run, outdoor ride, outdoor walk, indoor run. So I haven't tracked much of my indoor runs because I always forget to turn it on when I'm indoors, but I do use the outdoor run and then the outdoor ride quite frequently. So yes, got my watch, and I just wear this every day, but it's also there to track my run. And then the same on my phone, I have my Strava app, and I just like to track my runs on here. So I got my profile, so I just track what my runs was and then what I did that day. So like the last run I had was on Thursday, so I ran that day, and I did an 8-minute ab workout, and it's just depending what I do is what I like to track on there. Another thing that I've been doing this year so far for tracking my runs is having an actual paper copy of it, just because for some reason I don't know why, but I just like to have something visual that I can see instead of just being on a phone. I feel like if I have a notebook, I'm like, oh, so I did this much this day, or like this much this month. So far we have the month of January, so this is how it looks. So on here, you can see the date that I ran, and then how much I ran, and then how long it took me, and the mile pace. And I just do that for the days I ran or biked. And at the end, I add up the total. So I add up the total of the run, how many miles, and then of the bike, same thing. We go to the month of February, and I have not updated this since the 10th. So usually at the end of the week is when I'll do the next update, so I don't have to do it every day constantly. So yeah, this is my runs. Done that. So far it's been pretty good, actually. I've been pretty consistently for the past maybe month. Like I think halfway through January, I was like, okay, I can do this, and then so far right now it's going pretty good. Okay, so other things that I don't have to actually show you, but I might put it up on the screen, is always having a water bottle. So I am someone who doesn't like to drink while they're running or drink before a workout or like during a workout, just because I feel like my stomach, like that swooshing, I just don't like the feeling. Maybe I'll take like a sip or two, but I have like a small 12 or 8 ounce cup. I'll just have water in there, and I just kind of drink out of that, or I have my big water bottle and I just drink that long before my runs. And then after my runs. I also recommend you having snacks because obviously, if depending even on the weather, just how like, so I run in the morning and I'm hungry in the morning, so I need to run, so I always have a snack for after my runs. And especially if it's hot in the summer, you could really want to get some nutrients back into your body because that is not healthy for you if you are not fueling yourself back up. So the last thing I have to share isn't really anything that's not like running. I don't know how to say it. It's just kind of where I kept all my records of like meets that I've had and races that I've gone to. But in here I have like just different workouts that I have done. So like on June 23rd, I have like a paper where I did some mixed intervals and I was counting my time. And again, how I just had to have paper copies. So I would have paper, this is what my workout did. And after each rep, I would just write down the times. So this run consisted of a 15-minute warm up. And then it was 3 400s, 1,000, and then 4 200s. And then we did a about 11-minute cool down. So that's what I just did that one day. I have my whole high school log, so all the races I've had, all the meets I went to, and then just the times that I had per mile and things like that. So I had this in a notebook, but I just ripped the notebook out and just have each individual page. Again, I have it again, but now it's in like a folder type, and I don't want to show it because it has names of places, but it just looks like this. And in here it's full of just my times, and then I have pictures of like just like the result sheets, so like what place I got and things like that. And then in here, I can just take these out. So on here, I have my running plans that I had depending on like the month of which, like if I was in season, pre-season, after season, or anything like that. So this one was like for the month of June through August and November through January. So it was usually just at the end of season or before starting season. And I had like what kind of I would do like every day. So like a base training. So I had like Monday was core and a 3-mile easy run.
And Tuesday was like a little faster. Wednesday was a longer run. Thursday again was a quicker day. And then Friday was more like a quicker, faster, kind of more tempo impact. So yes, and then I had different things where like Tuesday, Friday were like my more faster days, and I picked those up. And then on that same thing, I had like the month before I started competition, I had another whole plan that I would do and kind of things that I would get ready just to prepare like more speed work on these. This is mostly for track. Cross country was more of the other one that I share with you, but this one was more faster, obviously, kind of getting more into speed. So we have a lot more quicker speed days than just the Tuesday, Friday, I think it was for the old one.
So yes, that's everything that I have in here to share because a lot of it has more of my school and high school, and I don't want to share that. But yeah, so that's my binder. I don't use that anymore often. I think what I want to do is kind of redo that binder so it's more based on what I'm doing now since I'm out of high school and just kind of running on my own. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the end of today's video. If I think of anything else that I do on my runs or kind of had things that I remember about, I might leave them down in the description box. I'll leave links to the shoes that I wear. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. So thank you for my dog is trying to get in my room, so I'm going to do this real quickly. So thank you for everyone for listening today. If you found this really interesting, just let me know any shoes that you like to wear or anything that you like to do with running because I'll be very interested in to know. Thank you and bye.